What is going on, guys? In today's video, I will be explaining the #1 mistake that noob DeFi users make when they're using crypto projects. I'm going to be explaining this with Smolting, aka Inverse Bra, which if you don't know, it's this green little meme. We call them wassies. Anyways, if you don't want to watch the whole video, this is going to sum up the entire lesson. Basically, don't send your tokens over the wrong network. So if you're holding wrapped tokens on another network, you can't deposit those on an exchange because most exchanges out there only accept ERC20 deposits. So for example, a Bob sells his time token for 4,000 USDC on the Avalanche network. Bob tries to send these 4,000 USDC into his Coinbase deposit address. Bob fails to realize that Coinbase only supports ERC20 network deposits. Okay, therefore Bob loses his 4,000 USDC forever because he tried to send it from the AVAX network over to the Ethereum network without a bridge in between. Okay, that's the big lesson here. That's the big mistake. Bob now works at McDonald's, so don't be like Bob. This is just a further example from a previous video I made, which I'll link it right here in the cards. But this just outlines on Binance, this is the deposit section. So for depositing USD Tether, there's multiple networks that you can choose from, right? There's BEP20, there's ERC20. And the big thing is you want to make sure that your exchange supports the network that you're trying to send it from. And in most cases, unless you're using Binance, in most cases, your exchange is probably only going to support ERC20, okay? Which means that you'll have to bridge it over to the Ethereum network. But that's only if you want to take profits, okay? And we'll get into that in this video. So yeah, key thing is just make sure that you're using the right network and you're not trying to send something from BEP20 into an Ethereum deposit address, or from Avalanche into an Ethereum deposit address, or from Solana into an Ethereum deposit address. You get the idea. Okay, so before we get into this, there are some terms that you have to know, just some basic stuff. BEP20 basically means the standard for creating tokens on the Binance Smart Chain. So whenever you do stuff on the Binance Smart Chain, it's going to be referred to as a BEP20 token. ERC20 is the standard for creating tokens on Ethereum. So any tokens that are made on Ethereum mainnet are referred to as ERC20 tokens, okay? So cross-chain liquidity is when a token exists on one network but not the other. So an example of this would be the token time. It only exists on the Avalanche network and not on Ethereum, not on Polygon, not on Solana. So if you try to transfer time token into a Solana address or a Polygon address or a Binance address, it's not going to work because it's not a cross-chain compatible token because there's no liquidity on the other end. A wrapped token is basically when a token is pegged to the value of another coin on another network. So an example of this is WETH or WBTC or WUSDC, etc. The W just stands for wrapped. All right, so what are wrapped tokens? Basically, wrapped token is a crypto pegged to a value of another crypto. It's called a wrapped token because the original asset is put in a wrapper, a kind of digital vault that allows the wrapped version to be created on another blockchain. What's the point of this? Well, different blockchains offer different functionality and they can't talk to each other. The Bitcoin blockchain doesn't know what's happening on Ethereum. However, with wrapped tokens, there can be more bridges between different blockchains, okay? So basically, wrapped tokens are a way of the same token being transferred on multiple different networks because blockchains don't talk to each other because they're just lonely. Okay, the problem. So this is just the problem explained again. Noobs don't know how the blockchain works, so they end up sending funds over the wrong network, or they send illiquid coins to an exchange. Example of this, Bob sells his time for 4,000 USDC on Avalanche. He tries to send that to his Coinbase ERC20 deposit address, and then he fails to realize that Coinbase doesn't support Avalanche network. So he's lost all his money. Anyways, this is what the solution looks like, and I created a map here to kind of outline it. But basically, at the bottom here, these are all the different versions of USDC you can have, right? You can have USDC on the Avalanche network if you're trading on AVAX. You can have it on the Binance Smart Chain if you're trading on PancakeSwap and that kind of stuff. You can have USDC on Solana if you're doing stuff on Solana's network. You can have USDC on Phantom if you're doing stuff on Phantom. You can have it on Matic if you're doing stuff on Matic. All of these cannot be sent to an Ethereum deposit address. They cannot be sent to an ERC20 network address. So what you need in the middle here is a cross-chain bridge. And this is what it would look like. So basically you'd use the bridge to convert USDC from AVAX over to the ERC20 version of USDC. So you're basically moving USDC from Avalanche over to Ethereum. Okay, that's what the bridge does. And then once you have ERC20 version of USDC, then you can deposit that into an exchange, connect it to your bank account, and sell it for fiat, for Canadian dollars, for yen, whatever it is in the country you live in. And yeah, once you have that USDC on the Ethereum network, you can deposit that into stuff like Coinbase, Crypto.com, Newton, whatever exchange you use that's connected to your bank account. So these are some of the bridges that I've used, and you can go on these websites yourself. I'm not going to make a tutorial on all these because they are more technical and that requires a separate video, but I can if you guys want. But these are all some of the bridges that I've used. Now, there's an important thing to note, though, is that there are fees for every bridge, depending on which one you use. So this is just at the bottom explained. So a minimum cross-chain amount is 85 USDC. And unfortunately, that's also, they take a pretty big chunk in fees. So it doesn't make sense to do small amounts. You want to bridge larger amounts so that you're not paying these network fees, dying by 1,000 cuts, death by 1,000 cuts. I'll show you here. So this is the AnySwap exchange at the bottom here. As you can see, if I've tried to transfer 1,000 USDC from Avalanche into Ethereum, it's going to take 80 USDC as a network fee. Okay. Now there are some ways around this. So for example, if you wanted to transfer, instead of using USDC, you could transfer WETH, wrapped Ethereum, from AVAX over to the Ethereum network, and then that might take a little less in fees. And then once you have that on Ethereum, you got to sell it for USDC, and it's just like these additional steps you got to do. But there are some workarounds. It just depends on the exchange and the network you're using, and you have to consider gas costs as well, because when you're bridging back to Ethereum, there is a gas price as well. And on the right here, this is the Spooky Swap bridge. So if we're going from Phantom over to Ethereum, and I want to do 1,000 USDC, the minimum is 200, and they take an 80 USDC fee as well. So it's up to you really on what bridge you use, but that's kind of how they work. Now there is an alternative to this if you have access to a Binance account. So basically with Binance, if you have access to Binance, you can deposit the native network token on there and then sell it for USDC on Binance. And then you avoid the need for a bridge, and you avoid the costly gas fees and the bridge fees as well. So an example of this would be, if you wanted to take profits in AVAX token, right? So if you're using the Wonderland Time protocol, and let's say you sell your time token for AVAX, now you have native AVAX, you can deposit that AVAX into your Binance, and then on Binance, sell the AVAX into USDC, and then you can withdraw the USDC over the Ethereum network, and it'll be an ERC20 token. So if you do it that way, you avoid the need for a bridge, you avoid the gas costs associated with bridges, and you avoid the bridge fees. Now, hopefully that all made sense. And just as a final reminder, you want to make sure you're holding at least $100 worth of Ethereum if you're doing the bridge method. Number two, try to do it all in once so you don't pay these multiple small fees. Number three, never, ever, ever give out your private keys to anyone on Telegram, anyone on Instagram, any MetaMask pop-up support contact. They never ask for your private keys or require them. So just know if you give them out, you're pretty much giving out access to your bank account. Okay, so you're gonna get scammed. Number four, carefully consider why you want to cash out. Okay, because sometimes it's better to keep your profits in stables on the native network. And what I mean by that is if you took your profits, in fiat, in US dollars, unless you have like bills to pay or, important stuff that needs to get paid, I don't really see why most people would want to take profits in fiat. For myself, I don't cash out that much because I have a job, so that's where I get my money from. But I like to keep my crypto in crypto, and that way I also avoid all these unnecessary bridges and just making it more complicated than it needs to be. So really carefully consider why you want to cash out, and just if it's worth it for you, then by all means. Anyways, just as credits, all my memes, my Pepe memes, were taken from this Twitter account called Inverse Bra. It's just like a shit posting account on Twitter that I really think is funny. If you guys want to send me a tip or whatever, this is my MetaMask address. You can just scan it. I'll have the token address in the description as well. And then at the bottom here is all my social media contact info. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for 6K subscribers too. That's pretty crazy. We've grown really fast. But yeah, thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate it. If you need any more help, you can just drop a comment. Leave this video a like and a comment so that Google robots know that I'm active on here and I'm trying to grow. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate everything. Peace.